Okay, it has started.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will begin first by introducing the subcommittee members besides myself who are here. Um, Kent, do you want to introduce yourself?
Just trying to get on camera here. Sorry.
Oh,
Hi,
sure, absolutely.
I'm Kent Keyser. I have a spinal cord injury, use a power wheelchair, and I'm a star rider.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I just heard Cynthia coming in. Cynthia, do you want to introduce yourself? Cynthia, can you hear us? Let's see, I heard her come in, so I wonder if she might be muted.
Yes, she is in.
Cyn yeah, Cynthia, can you hear me? Okay, well, and Rocco, there's nothing you can do to help troubleshoot or,
Her mic is unmuted. Perhaps she just can't hear us.
hmm. Um, uh, Cynthia, can you like raise your hand if you're able to hear us? Okay, we can't hear you speaking. I'm not sure why that is. Sometimes it helps to kind of, leave and come back in. I don't know what to say. But
Yes, I just
let
had
me,
to adjust my audio settings. I think I'm good now.
okay,
Yeah.
we can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much and
Oh,
welcome.
thank you.
Okay, so do we have either Judy Dixon or
Yeah.
Daniel Leslie?
Yes, Roseanne, I'm here. This is Judy.
Okay,
And I'm here on the
wonderful.
phone
So
as
we
well.
have, oh,
I'm on the
wonderful.
phone.
Okay. That is totally fine. I guess we didn't recognize your phone numbers or whatever.
Well, I'm on the
So we,
I called in because I absolutely could not get Teams to work.
I had some trouble myself, so
I
I
find Teams
totally
very
sympathetic.
inaccessible and I would would respectfully request that the county consider switching to Zoom for accessibility reasons.
We can talk about that
Yeah, Zoom
because
would be good.
I,
Zoom would be great.
Oh, this is
yeah,
awful.
I, I do find Teams a little more challenging. But
Yeah.
anyway, we can definitely talk about that. All right, so we have five subcommittee members. All five are here. Um, Now, let me, Rocco, if I can ask you to help introduce yourself and the county folks that are on. Plus, I think we have some providers on as well.
Yes, sure. Uh, so I guess I can start then. Hello, my name is Rocco Visconti. I'm an associate planner for Arlington Transit, and I'm just going to go down, uh, I guess, starting with Clinton.
Good evening, everyone. Clinton Edwards, Transit Services Manager.
Okay, welcome, welcome. And I
Okay, and
thought
then,
I
oh,
heard
sorry.
We Drive You is on. We Drive You, I think it's
Yes, we have
on.
a couple more people from the county too, so I
Oh,
might go
I'm
through
sorry.
them
Go
first.
ahead.
No, it's fine. And then we have Joshua.
I presume he means me because I don't know if Drucker's
Yes.
on. Josh Reeby here, transit intern.
Okay, very good.
Great. And then we have Paul Meunier.
Good evening. My name is
Hello.
Paul Meunier. I'm the service planner for the ARD system.
Very good.
And then we have Pierre Holloman.
Good evening, Pierre Allman, and I am with Arlington Transit.
Great.
Pierre, how are you?
Good.
Okay, so that's the
And
county.
yes, and then we have two people from We Drive You here. I think we can start with Ashley.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm Ashley Fernandez, the General Manager over at We Drive You.
Okay, and we have Tanya.
Hello, I'm Tanya Santana. I'm the Area General Manager for We Drive You.
Okay, welcome, Ashley and Tanya. Okay, so the first order of business is public comment, and I know we have lots of members of the public on, so this is how it works. You will all get up to 3 minutes, and we do ask, because of the number of people on, that you try to be respectful of that time frame. We on the subcommittee will listen to your comments, and then we do have an agenda afterward, but I'm going to have to ask Rocco to facilitate the public comment here because I'm not able to tell who is on the screen.
Sure, that's fine. Okay.
Chair Ashby,
Yes.
as Rocco
Yes.
is administrating the meeting, may I serve as the timekeeper for those public comments?
Yes, that would be fine. That would be fine.
Thank you.
Are you going to ring a bell or how are you going to do that, Clinton?
I will announce when they have 60 seconds remaining.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, Rocco.
Okay. So if you're joining online, you can raise your hand in the Teams with the raise function. If you would like to give comment that way. If you are joining via the phone, maybe just say you would like to speak, and we can go in order. If you're joining via the phone, we can only see your phone number. So if you would like to do so, please introduce yourself. So I will open the floor to anyone who would like to give comment.
I have mine, but it wasn't no link.
So
Okay, I see.
you
Chris,
want the phone people to introduce themselves now?
Well, let's. Why don't we
Yes.
do
It wasn't
this?
clear.
Rocco is going to try to call on people whose hands are raised. We will get to everybody, though. Okay.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
Are we doing the public comments first?
Yes, we
Yes,
are
it
doing the
starts with
public
public
comment.
All right.
Okay, so first I see Cressida. She has her hand raised.
Thanks very much. My husband, Russell Borthwick, has been using Star for probably 10 plus years, and we've been very happy with it. However, with the new arrangements of dropping Red Top, it has meant that he can no longer use the service at all. We had trouble in the past because my husband walks with a cane, but he's hemiplegic. He's weak on the left side. And so the Dodge Caravans that Diamond offers do not work for him because he cannot get into, I'm sorry, my phone is ringing, but he cannot get into them because of the step height of the seat in the van. So in other words, he basically loses his balance when he gets into, he can't physically lift himself into the seat. So he doesn't go in a wheelchair. He goes via sitting in the front seat of the whatever vehicle we have. So we've typically been able to have him get to all of his appointments using the Star taxis, which is meant mostly Red Top. We sent a letter to Arlington County to Clifford to get from his neurologist requesting the use of a sedan because we were having such trouble because we were getting sent all the time these Dodge Caravans, which you could not get into unless someone hoisted him into the van. And so as a result of the new policy, we haven't been able to use the Star at all. So
60 seconds.
Right now, we're not using Star for the last 3 months. And our question becomes, is it possible to have Diamond offer their sedans so he could be able to use the service. Because currently we can't even use the service at all.
Thank you for your comments. That is certainly an issue, and we will definitely talk about that. So thank you so much for bringing that up.
Madam Chairman, it's Kent.
Yeah, yes, Kent. Yes.
Could we get a copy of the letter too, please?
I will send the copy. Actually, Clifford has a copy.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Clinton, maybe. Did you mean
Correct.
Clinton Edwards?
I meant Clinton.
Okay, got it. That's okay. That's totally fine. Okay, Rocco, who else?
May I, one more, Miss McCann, I would probably just get your written authorization to release that information
That'll be
for your
fine.
doctor's husband, just
That's
for a
correct.
HIPAA. Okay.
No problem.
Okay, Rocco. Next person? Do we have hands raised?
Okay, so I do not see any more hands raised online. So if anyone over the phone would like to speak, maybe just speak up and I will call on the last 4 digits of your phone number. And if that is you, just if you would like to, you can identify yourself. It's not mandatory. And then you're welcome to give your comment.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say something. My name is Neil Kumar.
Go ahead, Neil.
Did you need anything
We
else?
can hear you.
My digits?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You can make your
so
comments.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like, this is the most frustrating change that STAR program has done in the 13 years that I've been riding it. I mean, it's obvious that We Drive You cannot handle everything. And I don't know why the decision was made to get rid of Red Top, bring on some subcontractor that doesn't look like they're coming on ever. You know, like, you should have a smooth transition, not this piecemeal thing the way it's been doing, the way it's being implemented. And I emailed Clinton and I vented my frustration and just said, like, you know, can we do a temporary contract, sole source maybe, to get Red Top back? Because this U-Serve is, for right now, it's a mirage at this point. Okay? I mean, right now, like, I can't keep being late 45 minutes to my job. I mean, if anybody was late 45 minutes to their job every day, I think, you know, your supervisors would have a problem with that, right? So, you know, it's like we got to do what they do at Metro Access now. You got to set your time super early because you know that they're going to be a half hour, 45 minutes late, and you just pray that you're not going to get a share ride, but you probably are. I'm in a share ride right now. It's 40 minutes, and we've gone a mile. So, and the kind of share rides that I'm getting, most of them, the majority of them make no sense. The one that they love to give me is somebody, we both work in DC, but we both work on, like, yes, I know on the map it's 2 miles, but 2 miles in traffic takes 20 to 30 minutes. So obviously you're going to be late, really late.
35 seconds, Mr. Kumar.
Right. And I never got a response back from the county, so that was unfortunate.
Neil,
but if we could find out if U-Serve is actually going to come online, when that's going to happen, and if not, just bring back Red Top, man. It's all right to say that, you know, we made a mistake.
Neil, we appreciate your comments, and I can certainly understand your frustration. We are going to get a report from Clinton Edwards about the status of the contract and what the county is doing to remediate these problems, because clearly there are issues. So thank you for your comments. And I think there are some other hands raised.
Yes.
Rocco.
Yes. So next we have Barbara Jones.
Good evening. I pretty much can say ditto to everything that the previous speaker brought up. From day one with the contract change December 2nd, we've been using Star for more than 10 years and it's been great. The red top cabs, 98% of the time were on time taking my son from Arlington to Oakton and getting there on time. Since we've been stuck with Diamond, 9 times out of 10, they're terrifically late. We've had him brought home 2 hours after he was picked up. And yesterday, I was told they would be 20 minutes late. At 20 minutes late, I was told they'd be another 30 minutes late, at which point we canceled the ride and my husband drove him all the way to Oakton, and he was 20 minutes late for work. But it's totally unacceptable. He cannot be an hour and a half late to work every day.
And it's daily.
It's daily.
It's daily. And I mean, it's just not run well. I mean, that's the simple conclusion is that I don't know who We Drive You or Star or Diamond and Red Top. I don't know how it all fits together, but it's not working. It worked fine with Red Top, and Star is very helpful and sympathizes with us, but it doesn't change. Nothing changes. And then they'll send a huge bus for one person, or they'll suggest to wait another 2 hours for our son to wait at work and come home 2 hours later because then they have a ride scheduled. And sometimes we've been told a driver showed up and couldn't find our son. He wasn't at the right spot. And that's just nonsense. So it's messed up. I'm delighted to hear that there is a committee that's looking at this, and I hope you guys fix it. I'm so glad that it's not just us that have noticed this just horrendous change. So
50 seconds.
Thank you. And no, that's all. It's not working. Red Top worked. This isn't working.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, I really sympathize with your frustrations, and it's totally unacceptable for your son to be late. So, okay, who else?
Okay, next we have Rebecca Bridges.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. I first want to acknowledge that the folks at Star are doing all they can, which is very little, sadly. But I do appreciate their kindness and their customer service, and I know they've been through a lot too. So I want to publicly thank them. And I'm glad they stay, because I wouldn't want to stay in that environment dealing with what they deal with every day. Another thing I would add, I guess, adding on to these late comments, you know, if we're dealing with able-bodied people, and I hate to say this, but my feeling is that with these changes, what that tells me is that people with disabilities, our time isn't valuable. Okay? This stuff is unacceptable. We work, live, play, eat, sleep like everybody else, and we deserve to have reliable transportation. Finally, I have some concerns about the connection between, like, I'm worried about what we're about to hear later on in terms of changes and new contracts, because for example, I was told recently that there's been a change where even if you start in Arlington, you used to be able to go like Arlington to Annandale, Annandale to Vienna, back to Arlington. Okay, and I'm told, well, no, you can't do that anymore. Well, says who? And when was that enacted? And where was the public comment? Where's the committee? Where's the input? If that's true, if these changes were made without consent, shame on all of you people. And so it's very frustrating. I keep hearing that there's all this stuff coming down the pike that, you know, what are we going to get hit with? And finally,
50 seconds.
When I feel like the screws are being tightened on Star patrons to encourage the use of Metro access. I was frankly told, because my transit was an hour late getting me, I was told last week, well, you know, they're really supposed to be serving people in Arlington. And, you know, even though you're going to Arlington and you started in Arlington, you're in Maryland. And so, you know, if they're late picking you up, it's really because they want to encourage you to use Metro access. And I'm very concerned about that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rebecca. We are going to be discussing the whole issue of public comment and policy changes. It's something that we've already started speaking to the county staff about. That is unacceptable. It's counter to the ADA. So we'll talk about that more later. And thank you for your comments. Rocco.
Okay, yes. Next we
Who's
have
next?
a phone number ending in 9138.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Hi, my name is Paul D'Addario, and I live in Arlington and have been a Star customer since Star began. I want to echo some of what has been said. I won't repeat, but one point that Rebecca made that I want to also emphasize is that the Star call center folks have been doing the best they can with this situation, and I too want to publicly thank them. I happened to have a call, and then this is just one example, but it was the first week, December 3rd, and I had no idea that there'd been a change, and it was to go to a dentist, and the Diamond folks were late, so I called. It turns out they were 25 minutes late, and I was going to be late for my appointment, so I canceled. And I got, fortunately, a neighbor to give me a ride. She happened to be home. She reported afterwards, I had her, she was kind enough also to come get me because it was a will call and I didn't want to take a chance. She told me that when she arrived home after dropping me off, that there was a Diamond van 3 or 4 houses down from my house, apparently waiting for me, even though I'd canceled the call. As the gentleman said earlier, it's just not working. And Star
This
has
happens
been,
all the time, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah. Star has been a great program. We've all had incidents over the many years, but there were few, to me the percentage was low. And now it just seems like there is a situation that is in need of fixing. And I implore you, I don't have to take Star every day anymore like I had to at one time because I'm retired. But it is a system worth fixing, and I thank you all for your time.
That's possible.
Thank you, Paul, for your comments, and particularly pointing out the real lack of communication in terms of what we're getting from We Drive You at this point. Okay, next person, Rocco.
There's no more hands raised, so do we have anyone on the phone that would like to speak?
I am on the phone.
Okay, the phone number ending in 1316.
Actually, no. But I can remember. Unless I dial,
that is you. You're welcome to speak if you would like.
1316?
Yes.
Okay. More than 30 years ago, the blind community in Little Rock, Arkansas, started looking for a means of transportation to transport blind people because the metro system, bus system over there didn't work after 6 o'clock on weekdays and didn't work on Saturday and Sunday. I have been a user of the Star since 2000 because I got a new job, but I don't work from 7 to 7. I work by the hour. If I don't show, I don't get paid. At the beginning, I took a taxi because I wanted to be on time. I was 3 times late, and the company that I contract with advised me that if I didn't show on time, they were going to take my job away. Well, today, I started making my appointments half an hour extra, 45 minutes earlier. They changed my schedule yesterday. And today, when I call, to say that I was not picked up. They said, oh, it's going to be 15 more minutes later. By the time they told me, it was time for me to be at the office where I work. I make money by the hour. If I work 1 hour, I make money 1 hour. The other point is that I used to take a job from Arlington to Alexandria and from Alexandria to Fairfax. Now, like somebody else said, no. If you start in Arlington, finish in Fairfax, go back from Fairfax to Arlington. Makes no sense because the time I have in between the places is 45 minutes. I used to be able to do that. Now my salary has come down almost $1,000 a month. I need my salary. I don't sit in an office getting my check every 2 weeks like the sighted people do. And I cannot cross the 495 highway because if there is a bus that I could take, it will leave me on one side and I would have to cross to go and to come back. I'm putting my hands in the wheels of the cars, and I don't think I could do that. So I am trying to be fast. It's very, very frustrated. And now, not only that, but the person who handles the calls starts complaining about me because she was in tears. Well, I am in tears as well because the company today called me and said, if I continue doing this, forget this job. So I cannot. I have to add that at the beginning I had to take taxis that cost me $30 to get to the place because I wanted to be on time. It's ridiculous. It's not acceptable when we disabled people have been fighting to get a transportation system to take us wherever we want to work or appointments or anything that we cannot do by ourselves.
Thank you for your comments. Clearly, this is very unacceptable and it has real financial consequences for people. So I hope folks are hearing this at We Drive You and with the county as well. Rocco, who's next?
I see Barbara Jones has her hand raised again.
Yes, we had another 30 seconds or so, and I just wanted to say before we get off and you all talk, I'm very interested in hearing what's going to be done and how quickly. I hope you understand.
Right.
I mean, I comments and it's just infuriating for us to hear it. It's not even our family, but this is impacting people's lives. And, I don't know what has changed, but I hope that it's not just a lot of plans and promises because it's been over a month and a half now and nothing's changed. I don't know if the people that are responsible are capable of fixing this problem.
And that's a very legitimate question. That's a very legitimate question, and the subcommittee will pursue that as well. Okay, other comments, though. I want to make sure we get to everybody who wants to make a comment.
Yes. Is there anyone else on the phone who would like to give comment?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Phone number ending in 5000.
Hi there. This is Janine Warden. I'm blind, and I use STAR for primarily two purposes, to get back and forth to work and to go to medical appointments. And the challenge these days, since the change in the contract, is that I can't depend on it because the rides are not reliably on time. And I'm someone who is extra cautious, so I always schedule my rides early anyway. I leave at least a half an hour extra time, and I'm still not arriving at work or at medical appointments reliably on time. Now, for me, that means that I have to use vacation time to make up for the time when I'm not in the office. And, I'd like to use my vacation time to do things that are fun, not waiting at my door for a ride to appear. And often, the incredibly professional operators for STAR just can't tell me when the ride will be able to come. And one day I waited for 75 minutes, and after 75 minutes, they still couldn't tell me when the ride would come. it's just incredibly frustrating. And as someone else suggested, an interim solution if Diamond or We Drive You needs to build up capacity, put an interim solution in place to address the concern. I'm sure there are a variety of things that could be done, but just leaving it the way it is really doesn't provide the service necessary. And thank you for the opportunity to comment.
Yeah, thank you so much for your comments. We're certainly hearing themes here: lateness, no communication, and really very unreliable service at this point. Other comments?
Yes, is there anyone else on the phone who would like to give comment?
Can
Yes,
I add
would
a
like
little?
to make comment.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, there's a number ending in 8034.
Yes, hi. My name is Lon. I'm calling on behalf of my mom, who used Star. Since this change, she said the fan, like some of the comments, the fan is too high and it's hard for her to get in. She likes the sedan, like the cab, the red top. It's easier for her to get in and out because it's hard for her to step into the high fan. That's why she didn't like Metro Access fan also. And the past couple of times, she's been very late, like the rest of you got other customers. And I wish there's a way. Sometimes, like at the red top, they have like a tracking thing, and you can kind of track them so that you can see where they are, when they're coming. That I thought that was very nice because then I don't have to call the operator, and then the operator has to contact the taxi and then get it back to me again. So that's like going through, two other people when I can just get the information in my cell and say, okay, the Route 8 is coming. I can see them coming. They're approximately like 5 minutes away or whatever. So that.
Yeah, you raise a good point. With the GPS the way it is at this point in time, there should be no reason why people are not able to access that information. And thank you for those comments.
Yeah, and yes, and my mom's been very frustrated too because she goes to a senior center. She lives in Culpeper, and she says like she only goes 2 days a week, and she set it like half an hour early, and now she's like wanting to go make the appointment an hour early because they somehow keep on skipping her. And she say, I get on, but then they take me, pick up other people all around like an hour and a half. And she's only there from 9 to 11. And a couple of times they take her late, pick her up late, and she gets there. It's like almost at the end of her session.
Right. So there's a lot of issues with sharing the rides and routing the rides, it sounds like, too. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Other comments?
My other comment, if I can, is that it's amazing they increased the pay or the fee, the taxi fee to $6.20, and the service got worse. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
True.
If they say $4.50, it's okay, or $5.50 or $6, but they added amounts that are hard to put together. $6.20. I can have the $6, but sometimes you cannot get the 20 cents. And
right.
If they increase the salary and decrease the service, it's disgusting.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, Rocco. More people? More comments?
Yes. Is there anyone else who would like to give comment?
Okay. I don't hear anyone else. And there are no hands raised. So I'm going to assume that's it. Oh, I'm sorry, Kent?
Yes,
did I hear?
I'd like to make public comment. The other day, I had an appointment to meet, ironically, with the United States Secretary of Transportation. I scheduled my ride well in advance of the time needed to get there, and the van. I'm a wheelchair user, and the van showed up an hour and 21 minutes late. So I eventually got to the meeting, which was over. The secretary was gone, there were two people there remaining. We talk about equal treatment of people with disabilities. We're professionals as well. We have professional responsibilities. This was an issue on which I worked for 9 years for this organization. And this was the culmination of the issue, a favorable culmination, I might add, on accessible air travel. But it's really professionally humiliating to not be able to get to the meeting on time. So, there's the chance for my organization to shine, and I wasn't able to get there because of, I don't know why. I asked the driver, who was the Diamond Road Supervisor, or I believe that's his title, or Road Manager, Ricardo, you're an hour and 21 minutes late, and he didn't respond. So I don't know why we were late, but like everyone else, I hope we can get some answers. Thank you.
Thanks, Kent. Do any of the other subcommittee members have comments they would like to make? Judy or Cynthia, Daniel, do you have any comments regarding the STAR service?
It certainly has deteriorated.
You have taken it then, and you can say
yes,
that. Or...
Yes, many times. I mean, there have been a few instances when they've been on time, but the number of times that they are late and seriously late has definitely increased. I'm also concerned about a very large bus, and I have to go around on a one-way street where I have to walk around into traffic to get on the bus. And it's very disconcerting.
Okay, thank you. Daniel or Cynthia, do you have any concerns or comments you would like to bring forward?
Yeah, this is Daniel on the phone. Just listening, coming to this meeting, I thought, maybe I would issue a comment, but listening to everybody's comments, those perfectly describe my experience. And that's just so very reflective of what's going on. These are not isolated random instances. This is like half the time you're going to have a disaster story. Maybe half the time they're on time, and but the other half, we really are talking about 90 minutes late here or 30 minutes late there, missing appointments. You cannot count on the service, even though many of the drivers are fantastic. In fact, I'm in the taxi right now with one of them. His name's Abdul. He's great, but there's so many other ones that it just seems like We Drive You was throwing anybody on the road they could, and really with no thought of who they hired, no follow-up to make sure that these people are skilled, no thought on how the rides are organized, no follow-up when they're late. So the way everybody's been describing this is completely accurate.
Thank you, Daniel. Cynthia, did you have anything you want to share about STAR?
Yes. I just want to say that I find it very compelling, as many people have suggested, that some sort of interim solution that can be implemented as soon as possible should be our primary point of advocacy. I'm moved by the fact that the compelling sort of testimony that this is affecting people's livelihood, their professionalism, and their ability to really operate and move about, in their day-to-day lives. And it really is unacceptable. And does speak to the need to respect the time and the lives of people with disabilities. I have, had to use Metro Access more than previously. I'm a long-time Arlington resident, and we should not feel pushed out of this sort of county-based transit service that we are entitled to by law. Yeah, so I think that's, I want to thank everyone for their comments today.
Yes, and I second that. I thank you all very much. What I just want to make one comment, and then I want to turn things over to Clinton, who's going to be giving us a report on where the county is in terms of these
Hey,
complaints.
Roseanne.
One of the,
Yes,
yes,
Rebecca Bridges has
yes.
her hand raised
I'm so
again, by the
sorry.
way.
I just had one thing really quickly, if I may. When we get to updates, I would be very interested in We Drive You specifically addressing the time estimates. Because
Right.
one
I
of the
think,
things I've
that
because they say, oh, it's
I
10
agree with
minutes and
you.
then it's like 45. So I would be
Right.
interested in how
Right.
they do that. Like specifically, they should be, and they'll say, well, the driver's driving, so they can't answer me. They should be able to see where the driver is. So like, I'm curious what
Absolutely.
technology is
No,
happening there. So that's all. I'm sorry.
that
Thank
it,
you.
yeah, no, that's fine. That is something that I wanted to bring up because truly they should be able to track these drivers. There's not even a need to call the driver. I mean, anyway, we can talk about that. Let me just say this to all the consumers on the line, the public, members of the public. Please make your complaints to the STAR Center. I know a lot of people don't do that because they think that it's not going to do any good. And I understand that because the Star Center staff can only do so much. They're just the messenger, okay? And
Roseanne?
but if you don't, I just want to finish, please. If you don't make your comments and complaints, the county doesn't have a way of tracking the many concerns that consumers have. So please do, file your complaint. It's option 4 on the STAR, reservation line. Please file your complaints. Okay, I
Roseanne,
think somebody was
I've
trying to
been,
say something.
yeah, I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to do the complaint line for the last couple of weeks, not every day, albeit, but I haven't tried it in the last couple of days. Maybe it works now, but I would keep getting, I hit option 4 and they're like, your place in the queue is like number 2 or number 3. And then I would just sit on hold for like
Right.
5 to 10 minutes. So I would just
Well, I'm
hang up
sorry to
because it's
hear
like it's
that.
not working.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. In the past, and maybe it's because of the quantity of complaints, we could get through. And there's nobody here tonight from the STAR call center, but I would ask Clinton and Rocco, please follow up because people need to be able to voice their complaints. They really do need to do that. I'm going to skip the minutes approval for until we get through Clinton's report. If Clinton, I believe you have an update for us. You can hear the frustration, you can hear the concerns. What can you share with us tonight?
Good evening, members of the Chair Ashby, members of the Accessibility Subcommittee, and to the STAR clients. I would first like to just apologize to all of you all for the not so superb experience that you have experienced in the 44 days that we have had We Drive You as our contractor. Our representatives from We Drive You that we have on this committee meeting tonight, ourselves here at the county, we are both not satisfied with the level of service that we've been able to provide to the STAR clients over the past 44 days, and we are working tirelessly to make it better and make it a better experience for everyone. Just to kind of give an update on some of the things that I heard with the We Drive You. Most of you all may know them as Diamond Transportation. They became the sole provider of STAR transit services effective on Sunday, December the 1st of last year. Many of you are aware that the STAR program was between Diamond and Red Top. Red Top doing those non-dedicated trips, and of course Diamond always had those vehicles. And we went to the model where We Drive You would be the only provider as of December the 1st. One thing that you will see, and we're still working through this, out of an abundance of caution with the We Drive You being the only provider, they are bringing on additional drivers through a third-party contractor that will be able to carry those loads that Red Top used to carry. What needs to happen with those providers, those transportation network companies, is that it was at the request of the Transit Bureau here at the county and the county attorney's office, is that for any driver that is a transportation network company that provides service on this contract, we unequivocally wanted them to be able to go through the county fingerprinting process. We didn't want to put the STAR clients and the family members, we didn't want to put them in any situation where we were not 100% sure that they passed all of the county fingerprinting. Once we can get through that process of getting those additional drivers onto this contract, we will see a lot of these on-time performance issues. We will see a lot of these lateness issues, reliability issues. They'll dissipate. Safety is paramount in all public transportation and any transportation program. And so out of an abundance of caution, we absolutely wanted those additional non-dedicated transportation network companies to have the county fingerprinting done before they provide any services. We Drive You was in cooperation with that. It's a term in the contract. And so once that comes online, we will see some improvements as far as on-time performance. We've had some challenges with on-time performance, as we've talked about, with everyone that has commented there, whether being late with very important meetings with persons in the president's cabinet, or just getting over to your job, or just to daily appointments, or being able to travel. We've heard all of those. Those are being logged at the STAR call center. Just to give you all a little update on that process, all the comments that are logged at the STAR call center are reviewed by 1, the STAR call center, 2, We Drive You, aka Diamond Transportation, and 3, by the county. So once they're logged into that database, that's a place that all 3 entities can see those. Rocco and the GM from the call center are meeting on a weekly basis to go through those complaints and those comments, just to figure out how we can make this process go improve. We currently have an additional number of drivers in training. They will be out in the field providing services starting on this Sunday. On Sunday, let's see, that is Sunday, January 19th. So that will get us up to 22 vehicles in the service area providing these services. And then that USERV piece will also come on. That doesn't do anything about the experience that you all have experienced. We apologize profusely, and we are tirelessly working to make the STAR program top notch and getting everyone to their appointments reliably and comfortably. We are exploring all options to be able to make improvements to this. We're in constant communication with our partner at We Drive You to improve this. I believe this committee, which they'll talk about in a few moments as a next agenda item, they had a workshop on the STAR Rider Guide. And we took time at that meeting as well to hear those comments that we got from the general public. We've been in consultation with everyone to get this right. We apologize, and we are actively working on it. I don't know if there's any other information that you want me to provide, Chair Ashby, as far as any further updates, but that's where we are as of today.
Thank you so much, Clinton. So I would like to ask some questions, and I invite the subcommittee members to ask questions as well. But my first question is, now you indicated that there'd be more drivers coming on the 19th, and that would bring us up to 22 We Drive You vehicles that will be able to be dispatched each day. Is that my understanding?
Yes,
am I saying this correctly?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay. And what about USERV? I know you have to abide by the fingerprinting process, and I certainly want everyone to be safe and have drivers that are vetted. but when will this U-Serve be up and running, this subcontractor?
The U-Serve operators started their fingerprinting last week. As we get those back as approved through the county attorney's office, as they passed that background check, they will um, start to be able to enter into the service area. Um, we haven't received any fingerprinting back to say that driver number one is good to provide that U-Serve service. So the fingerprinting has begun. There was an administrative piece that we worked out today between We Drive You and the county human resources, a meeting that the three of us were on, as far as a administrative piece, but we have that taken care of. So the fingerprinting has begun, and they will get into the service area as soon as we start getting the approvals that those drivers have passed their background checks.
Okay, and they can begin to start, even if it's 3 or 4 drivers at a time, they should be able to be used, correct? So that, I guess what I'm saying is we're not waiting for a whole slew of them. We can bring them in piecemeal, correct? These drivers?
I will,
as
Ashley and Tanya, if you all could address that question, I'd let We Drive You address that directly, as far as how we can release those operators once those background checks.
Because I'm anxious for this to be addressed as quickly as possible. So when, Ashley, if you can tell us about that.
Yeah. Yes, I sure can. Excuse me. After I actually got off the call with Clinton, I did have my meeting with U-Serve and just kind of trying to get an update on where we stand with that. But as soon as the operator is cleared with the fingerprinting, they will be immediately put on the road. They have already been working with us prior to this, so they already have the training, ADA training. They have all of the proper training needed. They will be placed on pretty much just kind of one at a time as they pass their fingerprinting.
Okay, so we can hope then within perhaps a few days or a week, we should be able to see some of these U-Serve drivers driving. I guess they're taxis, as essentially like cars. They're not vans. They would be cars, correct?
They would be cars. That is correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
and that
they would
might
be, like red top ambulatory only. It would be the same.
Right, right. And that might address some of the accessibility issues that we heard tonight from some of the members of the public where folks were not able to use the vans. So,
yes, and
I'm sorry, Clinton.
Chair Ashby, if I may, regarding the U-Serve piece, what will happen for the client's experience is that their trips will still continue to be made through the STAR call center. And once the manifest is sent over by the STAR call center for the next day's trips at 6:30, We Drive You will then assign those trips to either the vans, the cutaway buses, or on U-Serve. So that's not something that the passengers can call and say, I would like a U-Serve trip. That is something that We Drive You, based on the capacity and the number of trips that they receive on a daily basis, they will determine the trips. In the instance,
I
like
understand.
in the instance like Mrs. McCain, with the challenge that her loved one has with entering types of vehicles, we would adjust those with those reasonable accommodations as need be. But we would, of course, continue to keep those type of things in mind. And anyone that has those type of accommodations, we have it on file to be able to continue to meet their accommodation.
Right. Well, let me just ask this then, in terms of communication, because I think there's been a tremendous breakdown in communication. People can't seem to find out if the ride is coming, when it's coming, how late it's going to be. I need somebody to address that issue. Would that be Ashley or would it be the county? I think it would be We Drive You. But what is behind this problem?
The problem as far as communicating the vehicle
Yes, the status of the ride. Where is the ride? How long is it going to be? I've heard
Okay.
this several times tonight.
Okay, absolutely. Ashley, would you be able to provide us the policy for We Drive You as far as communicating with passengers as far as the status of their trip and the whereabouts? There's another before Ashley answers, there's a technological piece that's going to come on board with Spare that will be able to automate that. However, we've been laser focused on getting these operational challenges worked out before we look to implement that Spare piece. But Ashley, if you could just provide us the policy on that type of customer contact.
Yes. So starting with user, so you with through user, anyone who is on that service will receive text message notification and a call, just kind of giving them an update with the type of vehicle it is and the status of the vehicle as well. Upon the operator arriving, the dispatcher will be calling to let the rider know that they are there. And as Clinton mentioned, we are currently switching over to system where we are right now. We're just kind of getting all of the clients' names and contact number, and then the phone number that they are providing to the call center. Once we get all that information, that's currently in the works as well. This system will provide every single customer with a status update on their ride. It will give them a status update the night before, just letting them know that they have a trip on the following day. Will give them another status update when the driver's 15 minutes away, and then it will give them another update when the operator is on location, including the call from dispatchers. As we will just continue to be doing that as far as when the operator arrives, just calling to let them know that we are there. But they will receive notification 15 minutes prior to the driver arriving and the day before with that information of the vehicle.
And
the vehicle
this will be an automated system where they would get an automated message. Is that what I'm hearing?
That
It's
is
like
correct. There will be
some
message. It'll be
Go ahead.
automated text message and a phone call. And upon the driver arriving, as the driver arrives, we will continue calling just to inform, just in case the person does not come out for whatever reason. We might have a landline or the number to the location, to the center, and it does not go through. We would still be calling directly to let them know that we are outside.
And when do you anticipate this system will be up and running?
That we are right now focused completely on the operations of being able to get more drivers online. We are trying to get this piece down first before we look at that. But this is what we are 100% focused on. Once we can get a strong handle on this, we can work on introducing that technology that We Drive You brought on as part of this contract.
I understand, but I heard many times this evening the frustration of not knowing where the rides are. And I don't, I mean, yes, I very much appreciate that we can't do everything at once, maybe, and we have to wait to implement this technology, but there needs to be some better communication. I mean, you all have GPS, you track these rides. I don't understand. I personally do not understand why this is so difficult. I mean, right now, people call the call center. The call center calls We Drive You. The information should be available. I don't get it. I don't know if anyone has an answer for that, but that's the question then in my mind.
Roseanne, I had a quick question. Sorry.
Okay. Is there an answer to my question, though? I want to hear from We Drive You or the county or somebody.
Yeah, so we can go over that process briefly. Sabrina and Sheila are also from the call center are available as well. As the process you just described goes, the client will contact the call center to check on the status of their ride. The call center will call the We Drive You to check on the status of that ride. And then the call center will provide the client the update on that.
But how
There,
does We Drive You provide that update? So like, I don't, a lot of times when I call, they're like, oh, hold on, they're trying to get hold of the person, the driver. Like how in the world are we going to get automated updates about the status of our ride if you guys don't know where they are today?
I mean, I thought that all of the drivers were tracked via GPS. Now, are they not being tracked? Their whereabouts, their routes?
No, it's by phone. They track them by
Who's
phone.
answered me? Who spoke?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh.
We do
Oh,
have
that
a
was
system
a member of the
currently.
public.
Ashley is attempting to answer the question.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. Please answer that.
Yes. So we currently do use a system that does allow us to track the drivers. The new system that we're moving on to is the one that's actually going to be providing the updates to the rider as well. So we would still be able to, in that system, we can literally see the vehicle and where exactly it is. This current system we're using is one we've been using for so many years. And what we have to go in there and we have to search the vehicle number. But we do have the availability to see where every driver is at all times. This new system that we're currently going to be moving into is the one that's actually going to give us. It's a lot more updated, a lot newer, and it will tell you, it will literally, like I stated, it shows you the vehicle. It'll show us our vehicles, We Drive You, and then also our user vehicles. So we would be able to tell instantly where exactly the operator is on the map, on the street, the moment someone calls in, whether it is the rider themselves or the Star call center.
And you are not able to do that at the current time, is what you're saying to me. You're not able to see that. You have to contact the drivers.
We have a system that we can go into, but we also have the availability to contact the driver. We have those options, but we should be just looking at our GPS and searching for that vehicle number, and it'll tell us where the driver is located at that time.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I mean, I wanted to also ask, there have been comments about routing that doesn't make any sense. People are on the vehicle for a long time. This is just really unacceptable. I mean, yes, this is a shared ride system. Everybody knows that, and everybody needs to allow sufficient time. But there is some problem with the routing that you guys are doing. And that's what I'm hearing, and that, you know.
That onto the call center for the scheduling portion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the call center that makes the schedules, right? The share rides.
Yes.
I don't know. Are they the ones that do it? I don't know under the new contract what's going on. So.
They do
Hello.
it. I've been told.
This is
Hello,
Sheila.
is that? Hi, Sheila.
This is Sheila, the GM at the call center. Yes, we do provide the schedule. However, We Drive You, sometimes if their driver calls out and all, they have to make changes. However, like one of the patrons said today, he's only 2 to 7 minutes. Both of them are going to DC at the same time. They're only 2 to 7 minutes apart. However, the traffic, we cannot control the traffic all the time.
I didn't say 2 to 7 minutes. I didn't say 2 to 7 minutes. I said we're 2 miles apart. We live 2 miles apart. We work 2 miles apart.
2 miles
But
apart.
with the traffic, that's 20 to 40 minutes of extra time that you're in the car.
And my problem was they changed my schedule.
Okay.
They changed my
So I'm
schedule
sorry. I'm sorry to do this, folks, but we do need to let the staff respond here. And I know the members of the public are very frustrated. I think the reality, and Sheila, I think the reality is there needs to be an understanding of the traffic, especially during rush hour. I mean, this is not a mystery. you know?
And I definitely understand it. I travel an hour and a half for a trip that should take me 40 minutes every day, only because of the traffic during the rush hour. So I definitely understand your frustration. Don't think I don't, because I do.
And the
It is
issue then
very
is when
frustrating.
and when we then complicate it with share ride situations that are not workable on top of then the traffic, you know, it's exponentially problematic. It's a real problem. So I think this
But
needs
it
to be
is a
looked at.
shared ride. But it is a shared ride. We just have to figure out a better way to do our schedule.
Yes, I mean, I think it's something that needs to be looked at. Okay.
It's just,
We will look at it.
it's
Okay,
just
I
like
appreciate
it,
it.
you know, if we live if we live close together and we work close together, that's fine. You know, like
Right.
half a mile
I
within each other.
understand.
But
Right, exactly.
I think, Neil,
you
I
think
think
about
Sheila,
Go ahead, Miss Rose.
no, I was going to say, I think Sheila does understand the problem. I mean, but I agree though that the scheduling needs to be looked at in light of the traffic. That's a very important factor, and you know, it needs to be looked at.
no, Sheila,
Okay.
I appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Sabrina and I have gone over the schedule with our schedulers. Sometimes you have to look at your amount of drivers. It's a whole lot that goes into play why sometimes you're that 2 miles apart.
Right.
You know.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we will.
but if it's every once in a while, it's like you get it. But if it's like a
Yeah,
pattern, it's like I get the
Hey,
same 2 mile like twice, 3 times
okay,
a week.
okay, okay, I just need to add,
like
Neil, I'm
Clinton,
sorry, I need to,
okay,
I'm sorry.
Roseanne, let me just
We,
say this. As
mhm,
Clinton said, and as Ashley said, we're working together to better this
mhm.
service. Just be a little patient with us. We're going to get you to work on time. We're figuring it out, and just be a little patient with us. Just a little. And I'm reading the complaint.
The hospital that.
Right. I
Please,
appreciate,
please send in your complaints, because
yes, it's very
we don't
important,
know
yeah.
what's happening if you don't complain. But you can tell us the good stuff too. But we don't know what's happening if you do not send in the complaint for us to make the correction.
Chair Ashby, may I ask that the
Yes,
county and
yes,
staff interact directly with the committee? Because a lot of these, I know everyone is very emphatic about this and very passionate about being able for their transportation needs to be met, but we
right,
need to interact
right.
directly with those members of the committee.
No, and I appreciate that, and where I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to bring up some questions and comments that I've heard repeatedly, and I would ask other subcommittee members, do you have questions that you want to follow up with either Rocco or Clinton, or you know, about the comments that we've heard, stemming from the comments we've heard? Is there anything that you want to follow up on?
This is Judy.
Yes,
I have
Judy.
a question. I don't believe we've heard of even a vague estimate of how long it's likely to take for these drivers to have their fingerprints checked and for this new automated system to be put into place. I mean, are we talking about 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, some ballpark idea of how long?
Fingerprinting began last week, and as Ashley previously said, as soon as those fingerprints come back, those operators will be released into providing the service. Generally, with the county fingerprinting, they come back in a week or less. Once we can get that online, then we can focus our attention to getting the spare technology piece up and running.
How many
But
people are involved in going to be fingerprinted?
currently, this UServe model is running in Alexandria. I think they have upwards of 30 to 50 UServe drivers on for the DOT portion of their specialized transportation. Currently, our number, right now, we are looking to utilize those to start with, and UServe is also recruiting additional drivers to provide this Star transportation service. So, um, Ashley, please correct me
Okay.
if I'm wrong, if that number is not between that 20 to 35 number.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, I think that will help for sure. I think it's a lack of capacity that we have. That is definitely one of the problems. The technology, I'm not hearing an estimate on a time estimate for bringing that new technology on. I think that will be helpful. And I don't know if, again, are we talking a month or two, or what are we talking? Because people are not getting accurate information right now when they call.
And it's cold out there.
So, and it is
Chair
cold
Ashley,
out
may
there.
I
You are
follow up
right.
with you and the committee
Sure.
by the end of this week regarding how we can get that technology piece online?
Absolutely. We would be happy to talk to you about that.
All
Absolutely.
right.
Thank you, Clinton.
You're welcome.
Any other subcommittee members have questions of Clinton related to his presentation? Or just anything,
Roseanne?
any reactions? Yes, Kent.
I am. I don't know what I am. I guess I'm disillusioned at the minimal that we would hire a provider that doesn't have accessible vehicles. I don't understand that. Can you tell me, Mr. Edwards, what process the county employed to inspect the vehicles to see if they were accessible for people?
Yes, Diamond, as a current and previous provider for Star Transportation, has 100% Americans with Disability Act accessible vehicles. They provided us a vehicle list as part of their proposal to continue to provide Star services for Arlington County, and all of their vehicles remain 100% ADA accessible.
Well, I just got one follow-up question about that. Why is it that people can't get in them then?
I mean, it's a valid question. And,
there are reasonable accommodations that are required by some passengers. One was on the phone yes, she actually put it in the chat. I had a conversation with Miss McCain about her loved one's specific needs before the holidays, and how the vehicles that currently offer, they do not feel safe in them. I'm not going to share why those reasons were and why Red Top worked better for them, because that's personal, if she wishes to share. But it is ADA accessible. However, there are reasons why they are not comfortable utilizing the vehicles that currently exist in the We Drive You fleet.
I mean, I have no problem with releasing my information regarding my husband. I mean, I think the biggest issue is that there's no one size fits all in terms of ADA accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
That's
sedans
right.
need to be available. I mean, Diamond has a fleet of sedans in their taxi service. And so my question is we serve is, do you have sedans that you can include in the fleet?
It's a valid question.
Yeah, I'll start answering that question by the vehicle list that We Drive You provided us in their proposal did not include sedans. They do have sedans in their fleet. but that would be an operational decision by We Drive You as to the type of vehicles utilized on the STAR contract.
But you're denying
And
people with
honest,
accessibility
yeah.
to have access to a vehicle that's appropriate.
Not denying
And
them. The UServe piece was going to be able to capture that accommodation that is required for
right.
your husband. However, we were unable to bring that online when the commencement of this contract on December the 1st.
And we understand that, but that's why it's so critical, Clinton, you know, and I think you
Absolutely,
know that.
yes.
You know that.
Absolutely, yes.
So, okay. Okay.
Well, I think the
All right.
subcommittee should look, I think, Madam Chairman, the subcommittee should look further into this issue of 100% accessible, because clearly they're not. But I did have a couple of other questions for Mr. Edwards. You and I had discussed in a previous meeting about some redress for people who have suffered lateness and all kinds of problems with their trips. Did the county come back with any incentive to for the passengers, like free trips or something like that, or cash payments?
We have not finalized we have not finalized how we will possibly compensate those that have experienced these extremely late trips.
Okay, and then relative to that, does the contract provide for a penalty for the provider if they're not on time?
There are performance metrics that We Drive You have to meet on a monthly basis to continue to be in compliance with the provisions of the contract. And one of those
is that
would
being
be
monitored?
on time performance. Yes, that is monitored on a monthly and weekly basis.
Can this subcommittee see those metrics?
I would have to check in with the procurement department. I don't know if the contract is publicly available. I know the procurement is. However, I don't know that the contract itself is, but I would have to check with procurement to be 100% clear on that.
It seems to me that it'd be reasonable for this subcommittee to have access to performance metrics of the contractor. That seems very reasonable to me and in line with our work. But
yes, I need
please,
to check
if you could follow up with that. Yeah, Clinton, I appreciate it. Kent, did you have other
one
comments?
more, Madam Chairman. Chairwoman, if I'm not sure if this is for Clinton or for the Star Call Center, but the scheduling issue, is that done by hand or is that done by software?
Software does the scheduling.
And can you tell us what software you use and how old that is?
The name of the software is Trapeze, and it is a industry standard for scheduling fixed route and specialized transportation services.
And how old is it?
And
I don't know the exact age of the program. However, they are constantly putting out new upgrades so that it stays current with the current needs of transit services.
Okay, and it's Trapeze.
Give me
right?
one moment.
Trapeze?
They're actually
Sure.
I need to put on my headphones. Give me one moment.
Okay.
All right, I can hear you loud and clear now.
And then if you could indulge me, Madam Chairwoman, related to that.
I will.
I don't understand why Diamond can get real-time information about the location of their drivers and the vehicles. The why they can get it, but the passenger can't, or the prospective passenger can't. And I don't understand why buses, people who use our buses, get real-time information. Why is it that people with disabilities can't get real-time information about the location of their vehicles? Is it because of our disability? Because we can understand if we have accessible information, we're cognitively appreciative of any information you can give us about when we're going to get picked up. The fact that it's 2025 and you've got some kind of system that lets you know 15 minutes, that's not precise. It could be a half hour, as the call center supervisor pointed out, or manager pointed out. There's traffic, so you don't know that it's 15 minutes. If we have real-time information showing us where the driver is and what street the driver is, we have a pretty good idea because of our experience how long it's going to take. But to say 15 minutes, that's not useful. And I can't believe in 2025 we actually the county spends money on a contractor that does that archaic system.
So I think what you're hearing, Clinton, is the technology cannot come fast enough because really what we have now is not working. The system that is in place now is not working properly.
And I always suggest what you want to do is not going to work either.
Can I have a quick second?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to entertain more public comments. We are running way over at this point. I apologize. Ken, go ahead. Anything else? Okay, all right. We are running very, very late. I want to suggest, well, there's one policy issue that I really want to bring up, and that is the issue of these trips that start in Arlington, go to a place outside of Arlington, and then as we heard, and according to the Star Rider Guide, there are a limited number of these trips during the week that allows a passenger to go from, say, outside of Arlington to another place outside of Arlington, and then a third leg going back to Arlington. What has happened? That Star Rider Guide has not changed. We have not taken public comment on policy changes. Why are these changes being implemented without public comment? I know
Chair
Clinton and
Ashby.
Rocco, we talked about this. Yes.
Yes. So, as the Star Rider Guide says, there are a limited number of midday trips, approximately 10 to 2:30, entirely outside of Arlington County within Fare Zone 2.
Right.
Yes, I know you brought this to our attention on Friday, in
Yes,
regards
we
to
did.
those trips no longer being offered. I will have to have a conversation with our call center and we drive you on that to get more information on why that limited number has gone to none at this point right now.
Right. Yeah, that's
But
not acceptable.
yes,
I mean, I appreciate that, you need to follow up and we certainly will be happy for you to do that. But I just want to make sure we're not making star policy changes without public comment.
absolutely. Yes, there's no official policy comment, policy change in that, with that.
Okay.
I asked the Star Call Center about it, and they just told me, we don't know either. We just heard the county just told us we're stopping that.
Yeah. All right. So Clinton is going to follow up. So we are going to hear from him later. Okay. Can we? Yes, Kent, please.
Can Mr. Edwards, do you know when you'll be able to get back with an answer?
As far as the midday trips?
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, so what I will ask for the committee is how would you like me to prioritize it? Right now, we have our operational concerns, we have the technology, and we have the midday trips. So please
It's part of
provide
it.
guidance as to which we should address first.
Well, we have the call
Well,
center
I
on the
think,
line right now.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
we could just get it
this
settled
wouldn't
right
be
now.
the appropriate, yeah, this is not the appropriate forum in which to have that discussion.
Well, in the sake of
Okay.
transparency, it might be.
I mean, I think there is no policy change, so that whatever understanding or lack of understanding or whatever, we need to fix this. We need to allow a certain number of midday trips, which is what the rider guide says.
Right.
I
But
think it's
when
pretty
I
straightforward.
called and asked about it, I was told that as of December 3rd, all those trips were no longer allowed. Is that right, Mr. Edwards?
That decision did not come from myself if that decision was rendered. So that's why I need to have a conversation as to where that determination was made.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, please do. I mean, that is not something that should take long to figure out. Can we know that this week, by the end of the week?
Yes, we can get that done by the end of this week.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So again, I know our time we've run way over, and we're not going to be talking about the Star Rider Guide tonight. We have to determine a process for obtaining public comment, and we haven't done that. Can I very quickly try to get the minutes approved from our November meeting very quickly? Rocco, you have the minutes, I assume, in front of you, right?
Yes, I
Rocco
do.
there?
Would you like me to put them on the screen?
Yeah. Yeah, if you can. I mean, this will not take long. I had just two small comments, and Kent, I believe, has a comment. I think the other committee members, the new committee members, were not official at our November meeting. So I think if it's okay with everyone, Kent and I will take care of these minutes. And then from now on, of course, you all will be able to weigh in on the minutes. Two comments. There's a bullet, I think it's at the end of page 3. And I think it's near the end of page 3. It's just as a small thing, but it says county staff would update the subcommittee when the new contract was able to, I think it means to be shared. Do you see that bullet?
Yes, there was a typo. I had corrected
A
it.
typo there. Yeah, okay, perfect. I didn't see that, the correction, I mean. And then I do want to comment, during the November meeting, I was unaware, we had all 3 subcommittee members present. I think there was some technological issue, and I did not realize that Judy and Daniel, as well as Cynthia, was present for the meeting. So if you could change that 2 to 3, that would be appreciated. They were all present for that meeting. Okay. And Kent, I believe you had a concern?
Yeah, well, it's a question. Rocco, under the micro transit discussion, there is a sentence about due to public comment, an addition to the Westover was to be added into the zone. You familiar with that sentence?
Yes.
And my question is Westover the low income housing area that Paul discussed?
Yes, that
Yes,
is
Westover
correct.
contains low income housing area, and it's also the name of a general neighborhood. But
neighborhood. Okay.
It's both.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Thank you. Then I'm fine with that.
Okay. And so with those little edits, I think we're fine with approving these minutes then. And I do want to report to the subcommittee. Kent and I met with Clinton and Rocco on Friday. We have finalized the March, May, and September meeting minutes. Now, those, I believe, either will be or have been posted on the website. Rocco, I don't know if you had time to
Yes,
check on
I have
that.
directed that they have been be posted on the website. Again, I asked again, and I did not yet receive an update from the communications team as to that, but
Okay.
I will ensure it by the end of the week that they will
Okay,
be
so
posted.
and then these minutes also can be posted. So we've,
Sure.
we're up to date at this point. And again, I value transparency, and so that's why I bring this up. I really want to say thank you so much for this discussion. Thank you so much, the members of the public, for all of your comments. The subcommittee really hears you loud and clear, and we're going to work to make this situation better. We'll work with the county, we'll work with We Drive You, we'll work with the call center, but we will work together for good. And I hope we can make changes quickly, because I hear a lot of frustration, and I certainly am very sympathetic to that. So can I call for a motion to adjourn?
Congratulations, because you are a great conductor of this meeting, and thank you for understanding what we are going through.
Thank you so much.
And I move we
Motion.
adjourn, Madam Chairwoman.
Okay. All right. Any seconds? All right. I think we're adjourned.
second the
Thank you
motion.
so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.